heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right, and this is speaking of the Israelites, the elect, coming down from the ships, because as you read the scriptures, we're going to be beamed up. And what does Paul say? We're going to be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. All right, we're going to have a ceremony. We're going to be crowned. We're going to sip wine with Yahawashi. We're going to praise the Lord. Okay, we're going to rejoice. We're going to sing the song of Moses, which is victory over the heathen. All right, as we watch Babylon burn. All right, and the earth in total chaos. All right, but after some time, we're going to come down. All right, we're not going to stay up in the chariots with those new bodies. All right, we're going to eventually come down for the purpose of what? Conquering and enslaving the heathen, and also purging out the rebels of our people who are still left. All right, who refuse to bow to the will of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right, and it says in the next verse, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. Meaning what? The law, statutes, commandments will be written in our inward part. So what does that mean? No more sin. As the scriptures say, sin is what separated us from our power, and our power separated from us. It was our sins, our disobedience. But this time the Lord has promised us the better service, in which the law, statutes, and commandments will be written in our inward part. So what does that mean? No more sin. See, the only way you heathen were able to have dominion over us is because of sin. But once death is conquered and we sin no more, what does that mean? We will never be separated from our power ever again. And you notice it says the holy city, New Jerusalem, and then it equates that, all right, as the tabernacle of God being with men. Now, what did the temple, all right, in Jerusalem represent? It represented the direct presence of the Most High on the earth. All right, so now we won't need a physical temple. All right, the order will go and issue forth from Yahawashi and the 144,000. That is the fulfillment of the tabernacle of David. Now, what does the scripture say about the tabernacle of David? All right, Zechariah 12 and 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. All right, because there will be rank and order amongst us, but even those who are less, all right, amongst us in the kingdom of heaven will be mighty. You see, and the house of David, which is the 144,000, shall be as God, as the angel of Yahawah before them. And who's the angel of Yahawah? Yahawashi. So we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. All right, we will no longer sin, so you heathen will not be able to stop us.
Alright, Shalom to elected Israel, to the hopeful elected Israel. You Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. Want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone led me to this truth, and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and so forth, the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, willing we part of that number. Lord, willing this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and the striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. The water for anybody coming in on the conboard here, knowing after Yahawah, Yahawashi. Barak Atham, to all you sincere believers, you Akim and you Yahawah, men and women of the Lord, we're coming back to strive to the best of our abilities to serve Yahawah, Yahawashi. And I wanted to go back into finishing this lesson that I started on yesterday. And, I was planning on doing it earlier, but my elder, we got a chance to sit down, and talk today, and go over a lot of things, just concerning the spirit, and I learned a lot. We had a long conversation about various topics, and that's more important. Tying in and really getting to know the brothers around you, and getting a better understanding, of your leaders, to be able to be a leader to others. So, I learned a lot today concerning that. So, but Lord willing, after I finish this, I can still go get into a camp, because I still want to go do a camp today. I talked to him and see if he would, authorize me to allow me to go do a camp, and even though it's dark, and he's gonna go ahead and let me do it, because he knows my spirit, and he knows I really want to get out there. So, the water Yahawashi, for giving that understanding that I, can still go out there and do my thing, go out there and serve Yahawashi, because I gotta work like basically the next 7 days. So this is my only day off. So I want to make sure I, stick in the spirit, and do the work that I normally do on my days off. I normally do a lot more work. So I'm going to go ahead and touch into this. It's just going to add on to what I did yesterday. It's been a long video, but I want to finish this lesson, and then we're going to get out of here. I ain't going to make it too long. So Lord willing, to edify into the flock. We're going to go ahead and get started into this part 2. So let's go ahead and get into it.
The answer.
It's an answer
Hold on. Cause I know we got back when we were starting the first one and talking about Esau Edom. His conversation about what he wants to do about Jake and how he feels, but he doesn't even go into Jake. He goes into neo-Nazism because he's a weenie. He's not going to address it. But we're going to make some points.
Is sometimes the answer. And I want to know what you draw a distinction. When is it the answer?
It's an answer when there is an organization that preaches violence against Jews. When any organization preaches violence against Jews, we will use violence. And we will not necessarily wait for them to attack us.
How far will you go? Will you kill?
I'm not going to answer that.
You see how they say they're not going to answer that? Why? Because they know that's what they do. They're the father of lies. We saying that we become in power, we're going to kill y'all ass. But what Esau doing? He ain't saying the same thing. Because he don't, his wickedness is covered with deceit. Okay, as it says in the book of Proverbs. Okay, chapter 26, verse 26. It's covered with deceit. Okay, I'm not going to answer that. All right. That don't mean that you ain't really about that. You just said it. You just said if somebody comes against you, you so-called Jews, y'all going to use violence. What is that? I don't know, killing somebody ass. But you don't answer it right here. And that's just enough to show you that these people, they contradict themselves. We telling you, if the Lord give us those powers, hey man, if I'm one of them men, them 144,000 elect men, okay, I'm gonna do what the Lord told me to do. Okay, I pray I am. Okay, because I know it's some Edomites that's been around me who oppressing me, who probably oppressed me the last time I was here, and the last time I was here, and the last time I was here, and probably maybe even can be the one that put me to death. And I hope that the Lord put your ass right under me, man. When we get over there, I hope he put your ass right where the fuck I'm at. Because I'm going to deal with your ass. That's how the elect feel. That's how the elect men of the Lord feel. Man, Esau, I hope he puts you over here in my lot where I'm got you over you in slavery. I'm going to jack your ass up,
Why not?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Shirley, you asked one thing. You said, is violence the way to end racism? Nobody knows how to end racism, otherwise it would be gone.
I personally know how to stop a racist from hitting me. That's it. I get them first before they can break my arm. Unfortunately, I didn't see it coming. Or before they break my nose on public television. I didn't see that coming. You know, but if I see it coming, it's a racist. I don't know how to stop racism in education. I don't know. It would have been done already.
Are you
But
Jewish?
racists. No, I am a white female.
All right. Why did you get involved with
Because I am
the
a
ARA?
parent. My grandfather fought in the Second World War. I have friends from every different background. And I have to live in this world too. You know, I just can't stand I'll be with a friend of mine who is a minority. I'll walk by some people who are racist. They look and smile at me, and then they spit on my friend. To me, that's unacceptable. Just absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, you see how they clap? Because this is the same shit that Martin Lucifer King, who acts like he was for, you so-called Negroes out there, Latinos and Native Americans, but he wasn't for us. Okay, they were trying to make us come one with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, we not fucking equal. The Lord said that he not dealing with them other nations. Okay, he's not dealing with them. Okay, second Esdras, he's not dealing with their ass, man. He's not dealing with them. He never will. And the only thing that they're going to be good for is our servants. And if they feel a type of way about it, good. Because we want you to feel a certain way about it. Because it's real. It's real. We want you to feel that way. Because it's true. It's supposed to cut your ass. That's what the scriptures are for. To cut your ass. So you act right. And us over here, in the truth, we've been cut by the Bible. I've been cut by the Bible. I done made mistakes. I got cut by the Bible and got reproved, and I fixed myself. So how much more for the heathens, and the other people that come into this thing? Because like I said, I'm just a new brother. So if I'm able to come into the fold in a way of humbleness and meekness and be like, damn, I fucked up right here, then you come ask me, I'm gonna tell you ain't no excuses, because they didn't come to me in a soft way. The brotherhood came to me like, you better get your shit together, Jake, and you better seek your own salvation. I didn't get no damn good lucks or nothing. Okay, I had to figure my shit out, and once I did enough, they said, okay, go report your ass to camp because you're doing enough work. That's how it's supposed to be. We new brothers coming into the truth. We can't just expect them to hold our hand just because we at the end. They trying to make sure they good. And the brothers that's been doing the work. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 56, as for the other people, which also come of Atham, right? Which we know is Yahawashi, because it said the first Atham was a living soul and the last Atham was a quickening spirit. And it said that the Lord was the Alpha and Omega. So what is that saying? He's the first and the last. And if there's two different Adams, that means that what? There's first and the last. That's how we know that's Yahawashi. Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So they ain't nothing but a drop in the bucket of water, man. We ain't equal. No, y'all motherfuckers ain't, the Lord's not dealing with y'all. You heathens out there. He's not dealing with them. He's dealing with us. Okay? That's simple as that, And then, we're going to go over the, before we put a little bit in, I want to do this Exodus chapter 2, verse 9. I'm going to point something out and then we're going to get to it. It says it's going to be a real short video. So this just show that, they talked about how Moses was basically, he was considered like he was looked at as he could pass as an Egyptian because his tone, he was a dark-skinned man in the same way with the Egyptians, because the Egyptians back then were the so-called Africans. So Exodus chapter 2 verse 9, and Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it, talking about Moses. Okay, and the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. I mean, they wouldn't have did that if he would have had, like it said in Leviticus chapter 13, like I said, that they had leprosy. He wouldn't have did that. Because leprosy was a curse. He wouldn't have, they would, the leaders and the rulers of Egypt at that time would not take in a so-called white man baby. They wouldn't. Okay, because that would be cursed. That would be a curse upon that baby. And he called his name Moses. And she said, what? Because I drew him out of the waters, right? And what does it talk about in Genesis? It said the Lord made us from the waters. Okay, He made us from the waters, and that's how we know that the water is, the waters is very important. It's the essence of what created man. Those waters being combined with the spirit and the other elements. Verse 11, and it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied or spade an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew, one of his brethren. So what is that saying? That the Hebrews look just like us, because the Egyptians weren't they weren't so-called white people. They know that. They know that, man. And it just don't make no sense that they, he said that to that Amalek guy over there, the dude who representing the Edomites, the Hebrew Justice League. He said that to them. That's what Apostle Tahar said. He said, nah, man, y'all ain't the people of the Lord, right? He said Moses could pass as an Egyptian. And he did. But he wasn't an Egyptian. He was an Israelite. That's why he smote an Egyptian for a Hebrew Israelite. He wouldn't have did that unless what? He was those people. You see? And he didn't say nothing about that. He went straight back to neo-Nazi. He didn't say nothing else about none of that. Because he can't.
But you are a skinhead, right? And you got a lot of hair for a skinhead, Alicia. All right. Your husband's a skinhead. Mm-hmm. Now, your husband advocates, not only does he advocate violence, but he says death to the Nazis. He says it's okay to kill a Nazi.
If self-defense mode, I would rather kill him before he killed me. That's what it comes down to. And I'm a lot smaller than most neo-Nazi skinheads. So, if I'm going to wield a fist, I just hope it lands somewhere that's going to stop them.
All right, let's hear what Chris Wilson has to say. Now, Chris, you're a New York stockbroker. You were on vacation in Florida. You were kidnapped and set on fire by 3 white racists. You can't see this on Chris, but let's just show us your arm, Chris. He's wearing a special covering all over his body because how much of your body's burned, Chris?
40%.
40% of your body. Because you're a black man, they did this to you.
Right. And I say, with racism, you cannot fight violence with violence because that's still not going to solve it. I say one way, you can't stop it completely, but one way to try and fight it is through education.
See, so this guy, this Jake, and he might even be an Edomite. He just be an Edomite that's from the seed line of Esau. That's why he thinks like that. He says violence not going to solve it. Education. But who taught us who we are? Who taught us that we were Israelites? Right? It wasn't Esau, even so-called white man. So, but this guy right here, you see he's dressed up in a suit. That's the customs of the heathen. Dressing up in a suit and doing all that shit. And what is he saying? He's saying we need education. Well, you gonna teach young Jake how they were raped and pillaged? They was taken over here on slave ships. They was beaten to death. They said they wasn't shit. You ain't gonna teach him that. They not gonna teach him that. They gonna teach him that Christopher Columbus came over here and came with the Native Americans and they was best friends and they was hanging out. Fuck no. Okay? So that Jake is just, he's a 2/3. As we see right now, unless he repent. Because the Lord is not dealing with men like that. The damn soft fruit roll up ass, pecan pie eating ass Jakes who don't want to know the will of the Lord. He's not dealing with them. He's not going to deal with a Jake that's just straight ass soft. Like, he's an austere man. Okay, and he's coming to take vengeance on those who say they are the people of the Lord and are not. This is Revelation chapter 3 verse 9. Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. And that's that guy over there with them glasses in this video that claims to be part of the Hebrew or the Jewish Justice League. That is them. They're saying they are the Jews but are not, but do lie. How do we know? Because they don't look like Moses. And Moses looked like he passed off as an Egyptian, which is what? Dark-skinned people, right? Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet and to know that I have loved thee. And we know this can't be talking about the so-called white man or Israel, because there's people already worship them at their feet right now. There's people that already go over and worship them people like they the people of the Lord. So that's how we know this is a prophecy showing this is coming to the true Israelites. And how does it got to come? What? Through violence of Yahawashi. Numbers chapter 35 verse 33, and it reads, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And who had the sword? Esau, even the so-called white man. The Lord ain't gonna let them go slay all these jakes in the earth and then come back and say, we gonna make them worship you at your feet for being violent as fuck. No, he's gonna shed their blood to cleanse the land. And that's gonna be one of their first jobs as heathens, as a slave, to come back and build this land. Okay? Come build this land and to bury those dead bodies so the land can be cleansed. Because if you don't bury them dead bodies, there's going to be disease everywhere. And of course, we're going to be immortal, so that's not going to bother us. But we're going to need the land to be cleansed for the heathens. You know, the ones that are going to be working under us forever after 1,000 years. The land's going to have to be cleansed so they can live in it. They're going to be living in that shit with our concubines. Because that's going to be the difference between you aqua, you women out there who are actually followers of Yahawashi. You're not going to be worried about them damn heathen women. You're not going to be worried about them because they're only going to be able to be on earth. You know, your husband's going to take you in the universe. He's going to take you around. You're like, look at this new planet the Lord told me to build. He's going to take you there. You know, you're going to get to dwell everywhere else. The heathen woman, that's one of the lesser wives of status. They can't leave the earth. They have to be here. And the earth's still going to look bomb. Like I'm telling y'all, the earth's going to look, it's going to look good. But it's not going to be nowhere compared to what you get to see with your man. You know, that's why we tell you women, don't look at it as like, you know, something that's a bad thing that you have multiple women with one man. That's not a bad thing. Because that man's going to be enough for all of y'all. You know, he's going to basically be Yahawashi, you know, but a lesser status of Yahawashi, those 144,000 elect. You know what I mean? He's going to be a lesser status of that, but he's going to be the representation of that. And that's what we tell the women, like, you know, what better is that to know that you're going to be able to, you know, travel the world with somebody that you love, you know. But, you know, women out here, they don't understand that method, so a lot of women don't come into the truth, but you know, you few sincere women that's out there, hey, keep that faith, because he's gonna exalt you over a lot of those women because you held it down first. You know, so Isaiah 2 verse 1, the word of Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, right? 12 tribes, and we know Amos, his name basically means burden. He had a burden carrying this word, and it is a burden sometimes carrying this word. Why? Because we know we have to be patient enough to wait for it to come. But what did he say? What did he say to him? Verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established at the top of the mountains. That's saying all the other nations, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. See? That's what we're talking about. Those other nations, after the land is cleansed, after we got all the, you know, these, they have them bury all them bodies and build the land back, they're going to flow unto the house of Jacob. Verse 3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, Yahawah, right? And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, which basically is wherever we're at. And that law that we're seeing that's being carried out is what the Lord has got the elders and apostles of Great Millstone bringing forth now, okay, to the hopeful elect, which ultimately we hope to be of the elect if we endure to the end. Verse 4, and shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, talking about all them other nations, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. That's going to be another job they got to do, turning their stuff into agricultural weapons. Why? Agricultural tools, right? So why? Because they're going into slavery. So how is Esau Edom going to come and somehow at the end come out and try to fight the men of the Lord with plowshares? This doesn't make any sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense why they would do that. That's impossible. That's why, IUIC, they don't know what they're talking about. And their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So they wouldn't even understand how to get weapons together to come and fight, okay, against an immortal nation. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's completely off. You see? So we're going to go to Revelation. Wait, we're gonna play a little bit more and then we're gonna mention it. Play a little bit more.
What kind of education? Somebody tell me what kind of education? Brainwashing?
Hold on.
These are two of your black brothers, right here. They're saying that the only way to fight racism so things like this don't happen to men like you and women like you, so that no white man will ever do again what this white man did to you or these three white men did to you. They're saying the only solution is to kill white folks, to enslave them and kill them. What do you think?
Not just you, but all Masons. We'll get that straight. All
right.
Masons.
No, because fighting violence with violence is still just going to cause more violence, and still that's not going to solve the problem.
Can I ask you something? You claim to be an American citizen, right?
Sure.
Okay.
No, not an American citizen. I'm a resident.
A resident, okay, but you believe in the American system.
Sure.
The American system is all about war anyway. America was based on war. Any attacks against America, America is going to set up their troops, their armies, and go fight that enemy. Whether it be in Japan, when they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, whether it be in Iran.
You hear that? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And what are you talking about? Iran? Who's the America Babylon the Great at war with right now? Iran. He was talking about this stuff years ago. You see? But I want to point out one point before we keep going. Revelation 13:13, how he talked about they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This is what it's talking about right here. Revelation chapter 13, verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Who did that? It was the so-called white man, okay, in World War II. Okay? That's what that is. That fire. Because there's never been another time where you seen where a whole city was nuked, man. There's no other time other than Sodom and Gomorrah. That's it. There's no other time that we have witnessed a nuclear destruction like that on that scale. A whole city being wiped out instantly. That's how we know that's what it was talking about. You see? And you can get into it a little bit more, but we ain't got to go that far. It's just trying to show the point that everything he's saying is tied into these precepts that, that we teach today.
Okay? At one point or another, if you're being attacked, you have to fight. You have to fight back. Like I said earlier, even a dog, when he's attacked, he's going to eventually fight back.
Ask Chris.
Right? And how do we fight? With the word. We use the scriptures. That's how we're fighting right now. It's a spiritual war. We're fighting spiritually, but it's going to get physical. But it says what? 1 Corinthians 14, verse 40. Let everything be done decently in order. This is the order. First we fight in the spirit, and then he's going to combine the spirit with the flesh, which is going to be that immoral body, and they're going to come destroy everything that thinks that this is going off.
Who helped him when these people...
I know about that.
Okay, Chris, tell the audience who came to your rescue when these three men burnt you?
Yeah, there were two white people who saved me. Right? And then during my hospital stay, I received mail from thousands and thousands of people, and they were white, black, from all different colors of life. And that just to show you that not all people are like that.
Yeah, so he's trying to say not all people are like that, but some of those so-called white people that came to save him, was probably Jake. Okay? Because if they were Esau Edom, they would have not came and saved his ass. Okay? And I'm going to prove that point right now. They're not going to come save your ass. And if they do come save your ass, it's for their purpose. It's not for your ass. This is Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. My heritage unto me is as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. So that's what's that saying. His heritage is a speckled bird, which means what? All shades of brown. But you have some Jakes, they like so-called white women. So you slept with a so-called white woman, but that baby still is Jake because the father was Jake. It's by the father. As you look in Numbers chapter 1, verse 18, it's the father that, determines what seed line you are from. That's why he said in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, 3 verse 15, I will separate thy seed from her seed. That was him separating Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. He was separating the seed lines from the wicked from the righteous. And that's why now you have a wicked brotherhood and a righteous brotherhood. You see, it's all the same stuff. But we're going to show you right here that if they're Esau Edom, at the end of the day, they're going to show you that they're fucking Esau Edom, like they're devils. Sirach chapter 14, verse 7, the book of Ecclesiasticus. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. That's talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness, right? And we know, just like it said in Psalms chapter 73, verse 6, violence covereth him as a garment. And then in Proverbs 26, like I was saying, wickedness, covers, his wickedness is covered with deceit. So they bring a deceitful kind of look to get you to think that they are the people of the Lord. Okay, but at the end, they're going to declare they're wicked. They're going to show you. You're going to find out that they're devils. Okay? Now, I'm going to make a couple more points. I only got like 4 more precepts, and then we out of here.
Back in a moment. Stay with us.
You see how I said love thy neighbor and control thy neighbor at the bottom as a topic? Your neighbor is your fellow brother who believes in the truth. Your neighbor is who serves Yahawashi. You're not considered a neighbor until you prove that you're a neighbor. Everybody else is not a neighbor. That's why I said that he only gives his laws and statutes and commandments unto Jacob. Not everybody. Not everybody's meant to understand it. He's not going to say that the wicked shall not understand. And then, give them the law, statutes, and commandments. That doesn't make any sense.
We're talking today about confronting violence, confronting racism, and using violence as a method to curb racism. Now, Jay, you want to talk about stereotypes and how Native people are stereotyped.
Basically, what I deal with is racism in general. And what we've noticed across North America is that racism against Native peoples is systemic. I mean, look at your language. You have terms in your language like Indian giver. Don't go on the warpath.
Yep.
If I go into work and it's raining, somebody's going to say, were you dancing last night, Chief? Ha, 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 ha. Or maybe somebody else is going to say, well, come on, we'll buy you a beer, Chief. You're not going to go Indian on us, are you? And they don't see anything offensive on that. People here are even laughing, right? You go down and you watch the Cleveland Indians game, and they got that logo, this grinning-faced Indian on there called Chief Wahoo. And their name is the Cleveland Indians. And people go to these ball games, and they got little rubber tomahawks. They do the tomahawk chop. They wear these little orange and pink feathered headdresses and war paint, and they do their little war dances and tom-tom beating, and they say, but we're honoring you as Native people. That's why we do these things. Well, why don't they call it the Afro-Americans and honor these brothers? They can come in blackface and wear Afro rigs and a rubber spear and do the spear chuck, and then come out and explain to all the black brothers and sisters that they're honoring them. You know,
See, they're not honoring us. That's what this is talking about. Deuteronomy, and he made a good point. You know, Jake knew what he was talking about. You know, that this place is based off of racism. Okay, hold on. But first, I want to pull this up. He said systemic. Let's look up that word, systemic. Let's look that up real quick and see what that means. Systemic.
Systemic.
Relating to a system, especially as opposed to a particular part. See, this place was systematically built to look down on Jake, right? That's what he was saying. It's based to look down and kind of mock us as a people. Like saying, like, yeah, we're gonna give you a beer, you're not gonna turn Indian on us, right? Like they're the savages when they're the ones who came down here and did all that savage shit. This is what it's talking about. Deuteronomy chapter 38, verse 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, which basically means like a dark saying, a riddle. Like they're not going to understand who we are or why we did the customs that we did. We were worshiping Yahawashi, and they were making fun of that. They were mocking that. And a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall leave thee. So not just in America, Babylon the Great, all throughout the four corners of the earth. They look at us like they like we ain't shit. They look at us like we're insignificant. And that's not just here in America, Babylon the Great. That's everywhere. You know, it's just mainly here because that's where most of us was driven. You see?
It would be the same difference. I mean, it's systemic. It's built into your culture. How many people here, let's see some hands. How many people here played cowboys and Indians when you were kids? See, look at all those hands. Did you ever play Nazis and Jews? It's the same game.
It's the same game. It's the same game, right? Cops and robbers. You see? It's the same shit. It's just passed down and reiterated another way to make you think that it's okay. You see?
Names around. You know, that's why it's systemic against Native peoples. They don't even recognize the racism that's happening.
See?
No, I'd just like to emphasize on that. It's a true fact. It's not only racism against whites and blacks, it's racism against blacks and blacks, whites and whites. And what happens... No,
and see, here come Eve, don't know what the fuck she talking about. Trying to put in like, it's also talking about Esau and it's the whites versus the whites. No, it says in the scriptures that, you know, Satan shall, you know, cast out Satan. Okay, he's going to use Satan to cast out himself. That's why they're going against each other. You know, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2, I will set Egyptian against Egyptian. That's why they're doing that. Okay, because they are niggards at their own table, which means what? They only care about they shit. That's all they care about. They don't got to do nothing. This whole situation has nothing to do with them other than the fact that they're the Lord's whooping stick and they're going to get taken out of the way after the Lord's done punishing 2/3 of our people. That's all they're for. That's all they're good for. And to exalt the name of the Lord.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the fact of cheering or anything like that, because I had to spend a whole summer with a few of my friends who are not, like, some of them are black and some of them are, and one is, like, my best friend is half Indian and half white, and we had to spend the summer, and we were afraid to leave a certain place because of these quote-unquote people who are against blacks and who don't believe in having friends who are against, who hang around black people.
And sometimes it's really hard, and you guys don't seem to understand. Sure, I can sit here and say, I'm going to love, but I don't believe in violence. However, to a certain extent, you have to understand how hard it is, because it's easy to see everything from the outside, but the grass is not the same color on the other side.
Yeah, so basically she's contradicting herself. How you going to say, I don't believe in violence, but you got to look at it at a stance of what? You know, y'all inflicted violence, so you must get violence. So she's kind of trying to like make it seem like she don't want that to happen. She don't want payback, but she does want payback. All Jake wants payback, whether they say they do or not. Okay? Just like that guy up there got burned by all them Edomites. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord came and got all them men and bring them in front of him and said, I will burn these men up right now if you tell me do for what they did. You think Jake gonna say no? Jake gonna say, burn their ass up, man. Take their ass out, you know? What do you mean? Like, you know, we want the Lord's vengeance to come upon the heathen. Those are our enemies. We want his mercy to come upon us, you know? So, we mercy rejoiceth over judgment, but that doesn't mean that judgment's not coming. We want mercy on our hand. We want mercy for what? Living for living to protect the elect, you know, with this word, you know. But when it comes to Esau Edom, yeah, I want my lick back. I want Esau Edom to get dealt with. That's how it is. We want our payback, you know. So it's this is Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 14, 6 verse 14. They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying peace, peace when there is no peace. And that's what they doing. They trying to be like, peace this, and I don't believe in violence, but this is all y'all done. This is all y'all done to the people of Israel. All you've done is wickedness and violence to our people, man. You gotta pay. You gotta pay. We want our lick back when it comes to that. When it comes to somebody slandering us, saying that we ain't the word and we don't know nothing, and we, you know, whatever, you know, cool, whatever. We ain't gonna just get back at everybody when it comes to that, because the Lord ain't really dealing with them. But when it comes to the vengeance of the Lord, we want the Lord to bring his vengeance upon the heathen. We don't want him to turn that back. And he's not going to, because he promised us that before last time we can remember. It's gonna happen. So we're gonna keep going. We almost done.
All right, when you say you don't advocate violence, but, what is your but? When do you advocate violence?
Okay, I am not a violent person. I'm not saying I'm going to go up there and beat up someone. However, voicing your opinion and making sure that people understand you, because that's the biggest problem in society today. That people don't understand us. I mean, we have to take the time to understand every other culture and see where they come out from. The school that I used to go to at least sat down and taught us, and we had to understand everyone. Everyone had to understand each other, but no one else was taking the time to understand the other person.
Okay, tell me.
So you see how she said nobody's trying to understand Jake, but that's in the prophecies. They said that all of our lovers have left thee. There ain't nobody worried about Jake. Ain't nobody worried about what we going through. You know, and then when she says we all have to understand each other, how we gonna understand what the fuck we going through if we don't even remember who the hell we are? We just found out we was Israel 40 years ago. We wasn't able to express ourselves and tell you how we feel about stuff and how these other nations is going off. We wasn't able to do that, you know. So she's just in a state of where she's still asleep. This is another one of these dry bones in Ezekiel chapter 37. She don't understand the full message. You know, she don't understand, right?
What you think about what Tahar was saying earlier?
I understand exactly where you're coming from. However, people don't understand you, and you're not understanding them. And that's it's the communication.
Yeah, but he's communicating himself pretty clearly.
I think Apostle Tahar is saying it pretty plainly. You motherfuckers took us into slavery. We finna whoop y'all ass, saith the Lord, and we're gonna take you into slavery. What are you talking about? She trying to stick up for the so-called white man. You even got this one lady back here like, This bitch Eve going off. Eve, you going off, bitch. Just smiling, chuckling. Bitch, Lord gonna deal with your little ass. I don't know how old you is now, but he probably done took your ass already. Because this shit's going off.
His message is, his people were enslaved.
Yup.
That it's payback time.
Yup.
And we're gonna pay for the mistakes of our forefathers and foremothers.
.com.
True,
because you are your forefathers. You see what I'm saying? We are those people coming back. How he gonna judge you for what you did and you did? He's gonna bring your ass back and judge your ass.
We're human beings. We cannot hold God's will. If you say God is going to do it, by all means, let God do it. Don't
That's
stand.
what we're saying.
I know.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're the ones who he told us to do it. His will was to tell men to teach this word. So we're going to read Amos chapter 7, verse 14. Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was a herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit, right? Verse 15, and the Lord took me and followed, as I followed the flock, and the Lord said unto me, go prophesy unto my people Israel. Throughout the scriptures, the Lord has commanded the men that he chose, as it says in John 17, to go teach Israel. This is part of the Lord's will. We can't hold the Lord's judgment. See, Eve just be saying shit out of her big ass mouth and don't know nothing but her whole name. Okay? And I'm not talking about the Eves that's in silence, not y'all. You know, y'all beautiful women of the Lord. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about duckhead ass Eve right here that don't understand the elders and apostles of great millstone. That's what I'm saying. Right? He said, go speak to Israel. Right? Us. Verse 16, now therefore, hear thou the word of the Lord. Thou sayest, prophesy not against Israel, and drop not thy word against the house of Isaac. And we know it was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who we talking about. He said, do not prophesy against my people. Prophesy to them their iniquities and tell them to repent so they can come back to the ways of the Lord. And that is part of the Lord's will. But little Eve over there don't get it. But let's go keep playing.
From the footage,
Right, he's going to use his people to do it. His people, the Israelites, to do it. And let me say this to you, sister. The problem with our people is...
Nope. See, the problem with our people is they done cut the damn video off. The problem with our people is this, okay? They don't want to understand. They want to hear, not hear, and see not. That's the problem with our people. They don't want to hold themselves accountable to, you know, them not taking heed to what the Lord said. But I want to point this out first before I deal with that. So what the problem with our people is, they got Stockholm syndrome. Fucking understand shit. But I want to go make another point. Ezekiel 3 verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, talking about the scriptures, and go speak unto the house of Israel. This is our job. But first we have to do what? Deuteronomy 32:7. Seek the days of old. Ask thy elders and they shall tell thee. See, that's what we had to do first. You see? But let me pull this up. This is the problem with our people. They want to be Esau Edom's fucking girlfriend. It's Isaiah chapter 30 verse 12. And it reads, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word. It's the problem with our people. And trust in oppression and perverseness, which is like, you know, sticking with idolatry, worshiping other idols, thinking all about yourself, you know, not coming to the knowledge of the truth, and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in the high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant, right? And shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel. See, we're vessels. We're like a vase, you know? We're a vase full of the oil, this knowledge, you know? And you can't light a vase with no oil in it, right? So in a vessel that is broken in pieces, didn't he say, what he say in those last precepts? I shall use you to beat in pieces many people. Their vessels are going to be broken many pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it as a sherd to take fire from the hearth, or to take water with all out of the pit, man. So that's the point. Like, he's not going to make it to where anybody who has been ordained to be broken as one of these vessels, they're not going to come to this truth. Because why? Because they trust in oppression. They don't want to come to the knowledge of Yahawashi. So what is he going to do? He's going to break them into pieces. And you know, this from this point, it's shut off. It just does that. And it literally goes to nowhere. And it just goes back to the screen saying, yep, Elder Apostle Tahar. That's what we're here for right now. That's the only reason why this whole meeting even makes sense. It's because he's there. Okay? So we're just going to cut off right there. And Lord willing, I'll be able to get out there and do this. It's going to be late night, but, you know, this is my only day off. And, you know, I go do my separate camp other than reporting to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the big brothers on down, because I'm still a follower outside the fold, and it's to show my allegiance. You know, I ain't nobody important. I'm like the rest of y'all out there that's watching. We all clinging to the body, and we're praying that Yahawashi comes for us. You know, and if the Lord requires more of me, I'm going to pray for him to give me the ability to do so. But until then, this is what we're doing. So shalom to elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, led me to this truth, and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elected, to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, let's be edifying those who fear the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Peter chapter 5 verse 42, why abab, the water for tuning in. Yahawashi, Barak, Atham. And Lord willing, we'll be able to exalt the name of Yahawashi yet another day. So shalom. May the elect, the blessing of election be in your households. Peace and blessing to the elect. You know, and shalom to everybody on the convoy. Yahawashi, Barak, Atham. Shalom.